Hey, AOK Product Reviews. This is Rich. I just got a few knives in. I thought I ordered 3 fixed blade knives. One of them wasn't a fixed blade knife. I didn't scroll past the first picture, and for some reason I just assumed it was a fixed blade knife. Kind of looked like a fixed blade knife in the first picture because I wanted to just, I don't know, fill my cart with more stuff to spend more money. But what it is it's an Ethan Grow. And if you're not familiar with Ethan Grow, I've talked about them a couple times. And they make really good folding knives. Fairly affordable, 20s, 30s, depending on what you're buying. But they have real good action. This has D2 steel and G10 scales and bearings, and it's big and tough and burly. I like it. When I saw this, I was like, So when I saw it in the picture, I'm going to open it up so you can't see. This is what it looked like. Now tell me, that looks like a fixed blade knife. It's not. To my surprise and to my delight, it's not. Because, okay, first off, it's got D2 steel and a hollow grind on this Wharncliffe blade. See if you can see the hollow grind. Probably not. Okay, you can't. It's a friction knife. I like friction knives. I think they're cool. It's like a razor, like a straight razor. And I explained before in an older video when I purchased this other knife I'll show you in a minute. The lock is your hand. So in order for this to close itself on your finger, it'll literally have to come through your hand if you got a good tight grip. If you don't have a good tight grip and you're like this, you're gonna have a big cut on your finger. And it's no bueno. This is a cool knife. I had no clue. Okay, so what I think is really cool about this, let me move my table forward. What I think is really cool about this knife is if you can see, can you see the light behind me going through? The pivot is a hollow pivot screw, and it is probably 1/8 of an inch in diameter, hole going through the pivot. And the hole down below. Now these are also holding the knife scales together and the framing together. So cool. I love this. And it's really got great finish, fit and finish. Centered up perfect. Man, I am so impressed. And then this is the way it opens. So you can open it like that and then you can close it. You just want to be careful. One-handed closing on these versus two-hand, because, let me try something. This is definitely on washers. Okay, you're not going to be able to flick it open. But there's the back. Very simplistic. And on this pivot screw that is hollow through there, see, I think you can see the light through there. It's really neat. I'm such a geek. And this pivot screw has a line through it right there, so you can use a flathead screwdriver to tighten it up and loosen it up if you needed or wanted to. Down on both ends, or if you wanted to take it apart and clean it. So this was a great surprise. Now let me show you the knife I had before this. This is a really popular knife. Is the Svord, S-V-O-R-D. It's another friction knife. Let me move back just a little bit. But yeah, it does the same thing, but it's a little bit bigger. You just gotta be careful. It has this bigger swing arm kind of thing. You gotta practice doing it with one hand and to do it like competently, because I don't do it competently. I look like, I don't know. I look special when I open it and close it like this. Yeah, so. But the thing I like about the Ethan Grow, first off, this was $12. Was it $12? I'll have to, it was this much. Yeah. And don't remember how much this one was. It was this much. So this has plastic handles, this sword. Now this sword is kind of cool. It has like cast steel. You can kind of see when I do it in the light. It has this like almost Damascus look on the steel here, and then it starts its grind. Really sharp knife. Has these little brass screws. Same as this, but without the hollow through. And then when the friction is closed, the lever on the friction thing, it still sticks out on the back there. This one goes flush. I like this. And I'm going to check and see if Beef and Grow makes different styles and different blades. Because this is a pretty cool blade style, like a drop point. Man. So, because I got this knife, I thought, let me talk about a couple more interesting knives that I have. This knife looks like a shiv. It looks like something. I got Malcolm in here. He's eating my wood stove pellets. Dogs. I don't get it. But this one was just straight Asian knife. The packaging was all Asian. Everything was Asian. I know nothing about this knife because I don't read Asian lettering. I wish I did. Because I would like to know more about it. It has a Scandi grind on one side. Nothing over here. It's just kind of weathered. I'm not even holding it up. You can't even see. Okay, look. Move my table again. I'm out of whack. All right. So here, it's got a Scandi grind on this side only. Then it's just kind of worn and torn over here. There's no edge on this side. Over here, it does the grind on the edge. So it's like a shiv. It's like, just somebody in the yard. Just, I'm going to cut somebody up. But what sets this aside from a basic shiv is it does have a locking mechanism, and it does open and close and fold. And it's got this weird little, dental skirting looking thing at the top here to help guide the blade up through the wood scales. It's got some brass hardware, big hole for a lanyard. Now this knife, I had to kind of cut it out a little bit down at the bottom so it would shut. Now it's starting to shut pretty good. It just goes right in there. So I'm going to have to maybe fudge it a little more, but it's really actually much better than I thought it was going to be, and I never even looked. But it locks up real nice. See, it's got this little thing here. Now if you watch, see that right there? See how when I push this, it pulls that little locking thing out of this hook. Click. Yeah, that's pretty fierce looking shiv, but it was $12 or so. I'm glad I bought it because I like it. I think it's neat. So then I bought an Opinel, and it was like a number 2, and it was like this big. It was crazy small. I put it on a necklace, and then I bought a bigger version, but this is a joker. And I think a lot of you know what Opinel is and all that. This definitely is not quality. It's not awful, but yeah, it's got this locking collar, so it opens like that, and then you gotta shut this locking collar. And it's doing it now, but it didn't really want to do it for me earlier. And that's the safety mechanism. Pretty safe knife, real slicey, comes super sharp. I wish I would have bought a bigger Opinel, like a number 9. They go up kind of big, almost like kitchen knives. So you can buy these in sets, and you can also get these in there like steak knives. So I thought about doing like an Opinel kitchen set for my house, but I don't know if I really want to do that. But it would be kind of cool. So you had like really sharp folding steak knives, and then you get a smaller one like a number 4, which would be like a paring knife, and then you get like a bigger one, which would be a 9 or a 12, and you could use it more for chopping. But another interesting knife. So that's what brought us to this, was how I like this friction lock, and it might bring you into what would be like a Peaky Blinders barber knife, which reminds me of my petrified fish scholar. Ooh, man, come It's a front flip. Now, if this had that blade, this would be straight up barber shop, serial killer, Peaky Blinder, crazy knife. Yeah, this is neat. This has olive wood, has bearings, drops nice. Petrified fish, love them. And since we're saying that, Petrified Fish, I sent them message and an email reaching out saying, hey, I'd really like to review more of your products because I'm a big fan and I have a knife review channel. And they actually looked at my channel, I guess. They said they did. Sent me back a message, said, hey, we like your channel. It's growing pretty good, and we would like to give you a shot at representing our products. So they're gonna send me some knives. They asked me what I wanted, and without saying everything, because I want them all and I want to review them all. But I almost said that. I said, hey, I go, whatever you got on the shelf with dust on it, send it to me. And I'll take the content and I'll be grateful and I'll send it back to you. I don't even want to keep it. I'm not looking for anything free. I think they probably appreciated that because I'll take free stuff. If they say, hey, no problem, keep it. I'll be like, I can't believe I get to keep it. I'll be really excited about it. But they may not say that and take me up on it and say, yeah, go ahead and ship it back. But if they send me 10, 12, 20 knives to review, boy, that'll be Christmas. And I'll be so excited to put my hands on that many different models of Petrified Fish because I am truly a big Petrified Fish fan. And that's what this reminds me of, even though this is more of an Ethan Grow review because something's sticking on this Scholar. Yeah, because this is what the review is supposed to be about. But this is more about the style of the knife because it caught me off guard. I thought it was going to be a fixed blade. But yeah, I've gone way too long. We're 12 minutes. I'm going to have to carve this up because you guys aren't going to want to stick around that long just to hear me talk about weird knives. And you're probably not even going to be on there long enough to hear that I'm going to have some Petrified Fish come in from the manufacturer to A-OK product reviews, direct. Yeah. I feel like I made it. I didn't, but I feel like I did. All right, guys, deuces.